Will the Puppies ever grow up to be in the dog pound as the Browns look to go out with a win? Bryce Pop and the Bills welcome the Dolphins to winner. But would Dan Marino light them up? Under fire, Barry Switzer and the Cowboys needed a win.
I've had the desire to make a football game since 2014. Back then, I didn't know a thing about programming or game design. Back then, those who were tired of the Madden monopoly were content to complain on the internet, play NFL 2K5 or All Pro Football 2K8, and wait around until the day 2K Sports would save the day. It's been 10 years, and while the 2K football games are still king, the 2K of the late 90s and early 2000s is gone. I'm tired of waiting around for some distant, unreachable AAA game company to make a game that I want to play. I'm tired of complaining. So instead of that, I'm making the game I want to play. Don't complain about the culture, be the culture. This game has taken many forms, and I've had various runs. Each time I failed but learned. The dream would go away but then come back again, stronger and more mature. Each time it was more clear, and each time I yearned for it more. I don't know why this particular thing has gripped me so. I like football, but not for me to punish myself the way I do laboring over this game. It's a potent mixture of nostalgia, memories, and some kind of yearning I can't quite explain. It's a labor of love in the truest sense. Not just love for the game or the way it used to be played, but love for the people and things this game represents. For some reason, old sports have a way of really capturing the essence of an era like nothing else. To mix the football and RPG genres is something that has never been done before. Not really. It's not even that groundbreaking. RPG elements have influenced every style of game, but there's never been a true football RPG. The rate at which new kinds of football games are made is criminally slow. So doing anything that isn't the Madden formula is groundbreaking and full of risk all at the same time. But it's so necessary. The design principle upon which the entire game is built is the idea of depth without complexity. A game can be deep and simple. Some games are just complex and shallow. I believe that depth isn't just crowding your screen with more and more numbers and giving you more and more chores. Depth requires that you be able to grasp what you are doing at all times, never feel lost or overwhelmed, which allows you to play freely within the game's mechanics. I could make the most complex, detailed, and overwhelming coaching sim ever made. But if you can't grasp it fully, it's all a waste. I wanted to portray as many aspects of 90s football as possible, without you ever feeling like I was just asking you to work on yet another spreadsheet. Seeing that I am working on just the first version of the game, every new screen that I add has to be dependent on your skills in some way, and it has to be simple to perform the goal of the screen. The simplest way to achieve this is point allocation, and there is plenty of that. As subsequent versions and updates come out with testing, some of these mechanics may move beyond that, but it's a good starting point which allows me to complicate only where it is beneficial. The offseason cycle is a great example of this, as your ability to scout tryouts, the accuracy of scouting reports, setting off-season training plans, and weight training goals are all amplified or muted by your skills. It only takes a moment to actually do the tasks, which means any longer you wish to take doing them is because there is some strategic decision to be made. This to me is the gold standard of figuring out if a screen is taking too much time. Not only are all these tasks scaled by your skills, but they are actually a part of an entire coaching staff. Coaching duties is one of my favorite features thus far. As a coordinator, you can petition the head coach for more or less responsibility. As the head coach, you have to respect how much responsibility your coordinators actually want. In addition, delegating a task to a coordinator doesn't mean that the computer will just make optimal decisions. Each coach has a profile of preferences for what skill they value the most in each position, as well as which physical attribute is most important to them. They have different triggers for when they choose to set a player to recovery in weekly practice, or when they want a player to gain or lose weight. Delegating a task doesn't just mean that you won't ever have to worry about it again. It means that you believe the coach taking over the task will do a decent job at it, so you can focus on something else. You really will play a role in a larger world, and that is the essence of an RPG game. While some games promise you a sandbox where you can make the world exactly how you want it to be, Gridiron Masters 98 promises you a world that is a matter of fact, that you can't just make how you want it to be. You have to contend with the world, overcome it, find your place in it, and scale its mountains.
Here I am with the master plan. So you just know who I am. Football is the sport for me. And what about me? This is the year 1998. Put down the drugs, put down the hate. GM 98, it's time to play. Listen to me and what I say. Got to grind to reach the top. Gotta never quit, gotta never stop. Gotta never stop. You gotta be the best, beat the rest. Climbing to the top. You gotta be obsessed. You gotta be the best and beat the rest. Climbing to the top. You gotta be obsessed.